Imagine, it's 1902. You've just bought 100 acres of land in the New Mexico territory, running 5 miles west of the Pecos River. You've moved far away from the big city of Boston to make a living raising cattle and farming. You discovered that you now live in a desert grassland with extremely high temperatures and alkali soil, a land that is shared with predators and other wild animals that prey on your cattle and destroy your crops. It is a lawless area that many feel is uninhabitable. And worst of all, New Mexico is yet to become a state. But one thing you do have to your advantage is the fact that you have the most important natural resource and nutrient, water. In fact, you are a river that flows north to south, carrying the much-needed moisture that, if diverted properly, could easily satisfy your thirsty crops. A resource that nourishes the ground grass and bluestems where your cattle graze. This is what famous men such as J.J. Hagerman, John Chisholm, and the famed Pat Garrett built their agriculture empires on. These men did not see the harmful side of the Pecos Valley, but the opportunities that the valley held. The opportunity to raise fat cattle and healthy crops from the rich, nutritious soil of the Pecos River Basin. A land that had a long growing season and plenty of water that can only be used by those willing to put in the hard work and dedication needed to succeed. Good afternoon, my name is Tyler Mogford, and I'm here today to give you a better understanding of the history of the Pecos Valley, specifically the water rights that have caused many hard feelings over the years. Most people think that water rights began in 1907, but they truly began in 1905. This was 7 years before New Mexico became a state in 1912. The New Mexico territorial legislation passed a water code in hopes that it would address the issues and feuds that are present. It was stated that the document was retarded, did not address the issues that are present. Conflicts continued. So for 2 long years, the New Mexico territorial legislation revised and amended the Water Code of 1905 and passed the Water Code of 1907, which created the Office of the Territorial Engineer. In 1912, New Mexico became the 47th state to join the Union, and one of the first laws the New Mexico state legislation passed was the adoption of the New Mexico Territorial Water Code as the New Mexico State Water Code, which in turn changed the name of the Office of the Territorial Engineer to the Office of the State Engineer, and broadened the engineer's authority over water. The Pecos River Compact was not the first compact involving New Mexico. The very first compact involving New Mexico was the Colorado River Compact, which was signed in 1922. The Rio Grande Compact was signed in 1938. The Pecos River Compact was settled on December 3, 1948. President Harry S. Truman signed the compact on June 6, 1949, after Congress ratified it in the summer of 1949. The farmers in the Pecos Valley went through a process known as adjudication. In the courtrooms, it was farmer on farmer, friend on friend that would cause many hard feelings over the years. The farmers in favor of adjudication prevailed. The farmers in the Pecos Valley only get to use 36 inches of water per acre per year. One of the main water issues in New Mexico were the artesian wells. Webster's Third International Dictionary defines an artesian well as a well that flows to the surface naturally, especially one that flows to the surface with force. These artesian wells drill directly into artesian aquifers, which are pockets of water on tremendous amounts of pressure and are found nowhere else in the world. Another main water issue in New Mexico was the ever-increasing population. It was estimated there's over 2 million people living in New Mexico. This creates an ever-increasing demand for water. After New Mexico signed all the compacts with Texas, they could not pay them their water. So Texas took New Mexico to the United States Supreme Court, where New Mexico presented, the Pecos River is ever-changing. There's no set amount on how much water had to be paid, and the way it is determined is very long and very confusing. After New Mexico's defeat before Texas, the New Mexico government finally figured out they could never win against Texas. So they started fighting themselves for effective irrigation practices and rational use of water. They gave cities large portions of water. This left the farmers very little water to feed New Mexicans with. The industrial businesses also took more than their fair share of water from the farmers. But in the end, unless both Texas and New Mexico legislations can come together, feuds over water in New Mexico will take their toll on New Mexicans for generations to come. Thank you.